Awesome. Okay, so welcome everybody that's joining us on Facebook. Those of you all who are joining us in the Zoom, we want to say welcome. You are tuned in. If you're watching me on Facebook, let me just make sure my volume is okay before I start talking. I have been starting broadcast and just been muted. Okay, I've just been like talking and stuff, and they're like, "We can't hear you." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let me just, let me check." So I got to do a sound check, y'all. Cool. So we're good. We're good over here on Facebook Live. So hey, you guys, welcome everybody that's joining us. Be sure to share this out. So click share on the broadcast. We got Hollywood Squares over here. And when you do, then hit share. If you all are watching us over in Zoom, then just chill out. The chat will be open. We are going to talk about tonight your right to be rich. And I sent out an email to my list and said, if that rubs you the wrong way, if me saying that rubs you the wrong way, then you definitely need to be on this Zoom tonight, because we are going to talk about it. All right. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about myself. I've actually been online. We're going on 10 years. So this is my 10-year anniversary being on the internet. I'm super excited. I was able to go full time in 2013. Fired my boss, was able to make more money on the internet than I was actually making on my job, which is kind of a miracle in and of itself. But I just firmly believe I have a right to be rich. Okay. So anyway, so I am here along with some other team members from the Laptop Lifestyle Freedom Tribe, the number one, Umro. No, Umro. I think it's Uno. Yeah, Uno. If in case you listen to me and you need me to talk in Spanish, it's Uno. I don't know no other languages. Let me think. French. I took French and I was like in French for like a couple of years, but I don't remember numbers. Let me see some. Huh? Sonia's like
it's yawn.
Oh, I don't remember that. That didn't even come back to me. Young. Okay, anyways. So okay, whatever. I can't with you tonight. So anyways, but we're all here and I'm going to allow them all to introduce themselves, let you know about them, what it is they do, how they impact the world. And then we're going to get into the topic tonight about your right to be rich. And I got my internet nephew who is on here, who did a whole Facebook Live, thing. And Trey has to jump in. So y'all say hi to Trey. He did a whole Facebook Live study on this, on your right to, on the science of getting rich. And so we just want to talk about, bring some value to the marketplace tonight. We're doing something a little bit different because we're normally doing our 1K a day broadcast on Thursday night. So we just want to switch it up, just kind of do some things differently. So that's why we're here. So anyways, I'm just going to pass it over to him. I'm just going to and he can introduce himself.
Good stuff. Thank you. So yes, guys, my name is Zach Shaheed, broadcasting from Shaheedville, also known as Columbus, Georgia, which is about an hour and 30 minutes south from Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. And guys, I started my online journey in 2014, had a lot of struggles online, but luckily I found some great mentors and great coaches like Keisha Bass that can help me and, guide me in the right direction, so I no longer had to struggle as much. And tonight, like she said, we're going to do a little bit different. And really, guys, this is really going to focus on your mindset, right? Because the topic, you have the right to be rich. If you guys have not read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, I highly recommend you get that book and you read it every single day until you become rich, okay? Because in that book, guys, it talks a lot about, our limiting beliefs about money, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but growing up, there were a lot of limiting beliefs put in my mindset about money, right? Like, you guys probably have heard it before. Money is the root of all evil. The rich takes from the poor, just all this stuff, right? And what it really boils down to, from what I notice, is comfort zone, right? People are just so comfortable in their current situation, and then they lose their dream, right? So, as kids, we all dreamed really big. We all dreamed about being rich, buying the big houses for our moms and dads, buying that car. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever played this game. I know I can't be the only person, but as a kid, we used to ride in the car, and me and my little brother said, that's my car, okay? And we always pointed out the best car, okay? Nobody pointed out the hoopty, okay? We always pointed out the best car. We wanted the best things, right? We had all of these huge dreams, and nobody can steal your dream from you until we became an adult. Okay, it's like we become adults and then people start telling you what you can't do. Okay. Oh, Zach, you can't start a business. Zach, you shouldn't worry about being rich. Just go get a good job and be comfortable. Nobody needs all of that money, Zach. What do you need all of that money for? And guys, at the end of the day, like when you read this book, he talks about how God wants you to be rich because you can become a bigger giver. Okay, guys, understand something. When you're in church and we start to do the tithe and offering, and they say the Lord loves a cheerful giver, trust me, you'll be more cheerful if you know you have enough money in the bank. Okay, if you knew when you paid your tithes, right, you're not going to be just like totally, oh my God, what am I? Guys, if you listen, if you want to be a cheerful giver, get some more money in the bank, right? And guess what? You know what? I don't know everybody's religious beliefs here, but you know what? The Lord will continue to bless you by you becoming a bigger giver, right? So, guys, what are your limiting beliefs about money? I want to ask you that before we pass it on, because a lot of us have limiting beliefs about money, and type some of those in the comment stream, right? Because I can't be the only person where people told me, oh, you know, money's bad. You know, you don't need all that money. What are some of the limiting beliefs, guys? Type those in the comment stream. And before I hand it back, for those of you who don't know, who have not followed me, you know, internet marketer, I help people pretty much learn how to dominate on social media. That's what I do, right? Complete domination. I love the Laptop Lifestyle Freedom Tribe. We do have a family here. So if you are somebody who's looking for a tribe where you finally can come in and learn how to make a lot of money online, we will talk a little bit about that later. But I'm going to pass it back to KB so she can introduce our next speaker.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It's so funny, Zach, you say that. I always think about that scripture there. They say, you know, God loves a cheerful giver, right? So I always tell people, God loves a cheerful giver. He loves the uncheerful giver too. He loves us all. So just bring your money, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But I always laugh when people say that, like, God loves a cheerful giver. I say, well, he loves the uncheerful too. Because you can see some people walk around the offering plate and they be like, they look like they just lost their last, you know, like, you be like, can you just smile when you go around? Like, so anyways, let me stop. I ain't gonna go there. All right, I got a good friend. I'm gonna like pass it down now. I'm like, doop. Down to my girl, Sonia Jennings. In Houston. She's actually probably somewhere else now, but anyway. What's up, Sonia?
Hey, you guys. Thank you so much for having me this evening. First of all, I was like so excited. I was like, what is the topic? And you know, I was like, I am not going to miss this moment, because I tell you, since 2017, I tell everybody that was preparation time. And so right now, I'm just like wide open, ready to receive, ready to be rich, because he wants me to be rich, right? He wants you to be rich, and he wants me to be rich. He wants all of us to be rich, and nothing's wrong with us having money. Hey, you guys, I am number 11 out of 12 children, okay? So I know what it's like that where you did not have, where you had to use your, you know, think about it. I was the last girl. So therefore I always got the pass down. Okay. So I was the one that probably wouldn't have the new dress, right? Or the new shoes because, hey, no, your sisters wore it so that it passes down. And I was the last girl. But thank God I am delivered from that. Anyway, so those of you that do not know me, my name is Sonia Jennings. I've been online since 2013. I did get off online and came back on because I just really didn't know my purpose at that time. And I came back on and I came back strong. And I am here to stay. And so if anybody has lied to you and said that you shouldn't have money, you shouldn't ask for more, that's a lie from the pits of hell. And I hope you haven't listened to them. So tonight we want to make an effort to squash that lie.
Well. Okay. Absolutely. That is what, 11 children?
Yeah. Well, 12 children. I'm number 11.
So you was at the end. You was almost at the end.
Yes, but I was the last girl.
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart. Okay. That's a bunch of children.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we are glad you are here. And I know you have some amazing insight to add to this topic tonight, because I know that you actually go to a church that teaches a lot about wealth. And, you know, and I know that the teachings and stuff have changed your life. So I'm excited about hearing some things that you have to add to this conversation on tonight. Now, Shantua was eating his dinner. And so I'm like, Shantua, you done eating your dinner, dear? Because I'm like, you. I don't know. He can send me a message and let me know if he's ready to come out because he was eating. Shantua works for the government. Hey, you there?
I'm good. I'm good. Yes. Yeah. It was actually a bowl of cereal.
I could tell. I mean, like we all knew. I mean, we all knew you were eating a bowl of cereal. So, okay. I think you can start your video now. There you are.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Thank you for having me here, Keisha. I am honored to be here, with you guys. Zach, I love Zach, from Shahidville, and I can't wait to visit Shahidville when it actually becomes, officially Shahidville. And I love that story, about Sonia. I'm from a relatively large family as well, but not 12. We actually started with 2 kids, and then my father remarried, and he had 4 children after that. But this is an amazing topic, tonight, because as Zach was talking about the old limiting beliefs, I grew up, in West Africa as a kid, believing those things as well, that money was evil, you can't have, so much money all by yourself, what are you going to do with all that money? You can't take it to heaven or hell with you, all those things. I heard him. And actually, as a kid, that you are very impressionable, because what you hear as you're growing up, you take it to heart, you believe it. Whatever you are told as a child, you believe it. And my personal story with internet marketing or business as a whole didn't start until I came out of the Marine Corps in 1996. I did different things. Like Zach would say, I struggled, jumping from one thing to the next, with very little success. But along the way, I was learning different things. And, actually, well, for people that don't know me, I think I jumped ahead a little too fast. Actually, I'm a police officer. And in my profession, I work in the city of New York. In my profession, we deal with a lot of negativity. And most police officers will tell you that anything, to do with generating income online, it's got to be some scam. There's got to be something not right, because most of us depend on our guaranteed paychecks. But very few are savvy enough to actually branch off into different things. So that's my little background. And I've been a police officer about 20 years now. So I'm almost done. March, I'm done. So that's been my experience. But it wasn't until, a friend introduced me to the digital franchise that we're all involved in, that I actually started having a measure of success. Because up to that point, I was just, the only thing that kept me was the belief that I knew that I could, that if all the people that I've met and seen, if they could do it, that I too can do it. I knew that I could do it. As long as I stuck to it, as long as I didn't give up, as long as I didn't believe all the crap that I heard over time. And what helped me along the way was, what we've come to know as personal development. I read so many different things, books, listened to audios that helped me along the way to strengthen my belief. When I ran into this digital franchise, that's when I knew that I could actually make money doing online business. And up to that point, everything that I had done, although there were learning experiences, no one had actually given me the true blueprint that made me believe that, hey, you too can, generate income with this, with a system. And that's what this, digital franchise has done for me. And I'm just overjoyed and delighted to be a part of it.
Hey,
wow. Go ahead.
I gotta say something real quick while I'm thinking about it.
Go ahead.
Chinchwal just reminded me kind of how I really met Keisha Bass and also got plugged in to the system as well, right? So what he said, guys, if you're listening, like if you see other people, right, that are having success, it's working for other people. There's other people becoming rich, right? There's other people becoming whatever you consider success in your niche, in your industry. If there are other people having it, guys, you can absolutely have it as well, right? You just have to learn how to do things in a certain way, follow their blueprint, right? Follow their blueprint, and you can have what they have. So I remember watching Keisha Bass online, right? And Keisha Bass used to come online and say, hey, I'm Keisha Bass and I help women and moms fire their boss. And I would see her say this consistently. And I had another mentor, Robert Hollis, that he still says it to this day, follow somebody that's documented and then do exactly what they've done. So, I reached out to Keisha. I said, Keisha, listen, I know you help women and moms, okay? But now you got to help this guy. Okay, I need you to teach this guy exactly what you are doing. I need the blueprint to become successful online, guys. So I got in her back pocket. That's how she became my internet auntie, right? I was like, because she's just my family now. She cares about my family. She cares about my success, right? I never forget. She told me, Zach, when I go up, you go up. And you know what? I've heard other people say that before. But guys, in this tribe, okay, that we have built, in this family that we have, it is absolutely true. So I just got in her back pocket. I'm following the blueprint, guys. So if some of you were saying, I don't know if I can be rich, Zach. Nobody in my family has ever become rich. Everybody in my family has only worked a job, okay? They've only focused on retirement, 401k, pensions, and all this stuff. I can't do it. Guys, listen to me, okay? And this is why you need to read the book, okay? After this broadcast, I need all y'all to get the book, The Science of Getting Rich, because in this book, it talks about if there is evidence, everybody type in evidence in the comment stream right now. If there is evidence that one person can achieve the level of success that you want, you can do it too. God, if God is no respecter of person, there is no magical, supernatural being trying to hold you down while somebody else is becoming rich. The only difference between somebody who's rich and you not being rich is because you have not made a decision to do things in a certain way. Okay, it is time for you guys in 2018 to make a decision that you will start to do things in a certain way. Stop fighting the wave and ride the freaking wave. Okay, I'm telling you guys, you just gotta do things in a certain way. It can happen for you. So back to you, Auntie.
Well, there was I think it was like, it must be Fred Price, Sonia, and I think it was like, who was it, Fred Price or somebody used to have this show, and it was like evidence, dun, 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 evidence, dun, dun, do you have the evidence? Oh my God, sorry you guys, I had to be random like that, but that's all, whenever I hear evidence, that's what I think about, and it was like, do you have the evidence? And it's like, many of us, we have the evidence. The evidence is here, but we will fight. People will get mad at you. They will get mad at you, send you hate mail and everything if you tell them that, you know what, I remember, okay, so you guys, if you guys will get the Signs of Getting Rich, I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna piss you off. It's gonna piss you off, but it's gonna help you. But I will never forget, I kid you not, I always do audiobooks. And so this is one of the things, and this is the reason why, because I was raised in church and I love church. I mean, it's awesome, whatever, right? But there were some things I was taught that really kept me in a place where I felt like I couldn't really be close to God if I was rich. It was hard for rich people to get into heaven. And so because that was my belief system, and that's what everything around me just like validated it. And the preacher is like, he's like the most powerful guy and stuff. And so if he tells you it's hard, then you just kind of take that and you don't really do your own study and really understand that wasn't even what they were talking about and stuff. And you kind of be like, oh, okay. But so I had a lot. So I had all that those beliefs in me. So then when I read a book like The Science of Getting Rich, and it tells me ain't no praise in poverty. Yeah, that's what he say, y'all. I mean, he go in, like he come for you. Like he comes for you in the introduction. Okay. And so when you have beliefs in you that the poor will be with you always, And you thought the poor being with you always was actually poor people, like people who didn't have money. It was like, it's like, no, because there's some poor people that got a lot of money. It's, so, but, he said, whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it's not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. That's what I was like, ooh, like, really? Like, really, really? But if you think about it, you guys, like, we can argue, people, we can argue about it. We can definitely do it. But listen, here's the thing. Our completeness means that, man, many of us make decisions, based on money. You want to take your family to Europe, right? And you want to do it for 30 days. The reason why you don't do it, I want you guys to comment why you don't do it. Why don't you just go and take your family to Europe for 30 days and just do it there? And that's usually 2 reasons why we don't do it. There's usually 2 reasons. One, you got a job that you have to get time off for 30 days, and they usually ain't going to approve no 30-day time off. Now the company owner is able to do it. He can take his family for 30 days and go and be in Europe. And guess what? His whole operation still goes. And him and his family are having experiences of life while you are in the office taking care of business for him. Okay. Which, and see, that ought to piss you off. It pissed me off. I was like, oh my goodness. I got to a point, I kid you not, on my job. The owners of the company were amazing men. They really were. They were amazing men. They did a lot of stuff for us and everything. But here's what I saw. Like, they could take off. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had parties at one of the company owners' house. He had bought a basketball player's house over in Bellevue. He was, his whole thing was, doing all his stuff and buying this and doing that, right? He comes to the office when he wanted to. He left the office when he wanted to. He met with clients when he wanted to. He traveled the world when he wanted to. Him and his wife, they did whatever they wanted to do. And here I am reporting in. So let me see who. I know we won't have 200 people on here tonight, Zach, because people will be like, oh, she's just they talking about money.
They about money. Y'all they
talking about money. Oh my God. Say Nala said that pisses me off. Milka says, hi, millionaires. Hello, everybody. Y'all drop a comment. Ain't no praise in poverty. There is none. I'm saying it country, y'all. Ain't no praise in poverty. People are over it. They're sick of it. And they are ready to do something different. Okay. I gotta check the door, you guys. I'll be back. Y'all keep going.
I mean, like, you guys gotta learn how to change your mindset, right? Like, Sonya, I don't know, I'm sure you can agree with this, right? So it's funny how people say money is not everything. You shouldn't worry about money, but they're always worried about it and they're always going to work for it. It's like, if money is not everything, why do we trade so much time for money? Now, guys, I want you to think about this, right? What is more important, time or money? Type it in the comment stream right now. Is time more important or is money more important? And I'm going to go ahead and challenge everybody right now. I'm going to say time is more important, right? But because guess what? Because we can't get time back. We can't get time back. Money always replenishes itself. I can go trade some time and make some money. But guess what? By me trading that time, I will never get it back. Time is more important. So how do you earn your time freedom? Okay. How is it that Keisha, when she had a job, her bosses can go travel the world, build basketball courts? How could they do that? Money. Okay. So they leverage money, okay, to buy their time freedom back. Okay. So guys, you got to find a way to leverage money to make it work for you. Okay, so you can do the things that you want to do. So having conversations about money is not bad. Most of the people that's watching this right now, we go to jobs, you probably 40, 50, 60, 70 hours every single week, and you're trading time for money every single week. What you think about that, Sonya?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, so I have a job, and one of the things that got me like really ticked off last year is I was on a broadcast. So I watched a friend of mine, Delshawn, and she had a broadcast. I was a guest speaker, and then she had another guest speaker the next day. And one of the things he said, and I was in the grocery store, and I was like, I cannot believe he just said that. He said he was able to walk away from his job. He did have preparation time, but he was able to walk away from his job because he said someone told him, or it just dropped. He got a revelation, and he said, if my company is willing to pay me this amount of money, no matter how much money it is, okay, whether it's 5 figures, whether it's 4 figures, whether it's 6 figures, if they are willing to pay me this amount of money to do this job, then guess what? I can create a business where someone will pay me for what I know and what I do. And I know what I do. I mean, sometimes you guys, it's just amazing to me because on my job, I work on projects. So I love my job and I love what I do. And I'm really and truly, trust me, it will be in a box where it's going to be my business because I am here teaching the vendor that they're paying maybe twice my salary, right? And teaching them how to do their job, okay? And again, one of the things I learned last year, everything I have is within me. You know, Keisha was talking about my church. And one of the things is I was a member of a church for 21 years. And, you know, things happened. Long story short, the church broke up and I moved and I remarried and everything. And someone invited me to the church that I attend now. And one of the things that really bothered me is that they always spoke about money. But I remember walking in there, and at that moment of my life, I could not give an offering. I didn't have money to put in my car, okay? Now my gas tank I had gas in my car, but I did not have money to put in the car. But something dropped in me because I heard this pastor, which is my bishop now, he said that he makes no apologies because his assignment is to free God's people because God wants us to have. And in 3 John, and I know this is not a sermon, but you guys, you have to get this into your spirit this year. In 3 John, it says, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper. He didn't say, I wish above all things that you stay in poverty. He said, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health. He wants you to be healthy while you're prospering, for you to enjoy your life, even as thy soul prospereth. Everything about you, your soul, your body, your spirit, he wants you to prosper. And so I had to get it. It's okay for me to have money, right? Now, I was in a time of my life where I could not see, right? But again, I came online and I heard all this stuff about mindset. And I should have gotten it because there was a time I was getting ready to get laid off and I had to train the people that they brought from over to my company, and I had to train them for them to take my job. And I remember I said I was going to have a bad attitude. I'm not teaching them anything or whatever. And I remember as clear as day, the Lord speaking to me and said, really, this is how, really, that's your type of attitude. And I remember going in, I switched my attitude, I changed my attitude, and I was able to stay on that job. Now, this is not trying to tell you to stay on your job. We're trying to get you free to let you know that you were created to be rich. And it's okay to want more, to want more, to want more. You have got to get it inside of you in 2018 that you have there's a way that you can make money. There's a way. Follow the leader. I heard that years ago online, but you guys, I took it for granted. Right? And I didn't apply. We hear Zach talking about the science of getting rich. I have that book as well. You have got to work on yourself. You should have done that last year. But if this is your first time seeing us, you have an opportunity for you to get that inside of you, that you were created. God does not create mess. And he did not create us to have lack. I mean, think about it. If he created his people to have lack, what type of God is he, right? If he owns everything, right, on this planet, right? How much more does he want to see his children? And he created you, and he wants you to have the very best. One of the things our First Lady taught us, right, is for us to say affirmations. I live in the best. I wear the best. I go first class in life. I'm going to be taking those first class trips this year because I go first class in life. But guess what, you guys? You have to know it. You have to believe it, right? And it has to get inside of you. We cannot come put a seal on your head, right? You have to say, I want it. I want it for me. I want it for my family. I want it for my children. I will be the first generation millionaire. You have to know it. You have to say it. But most importantly, you have to want it for yourself.
Let the church say amen.
Oh, right. Amen. Amen. Oh my God.
Like the comments are going crazy.
Oh my goodness. Hey, KB.
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know how much I could add to what Zach and Sonia just said, but listen, I'm gonna throw in something here. A while back, I was watching a live stream somebody shared, and this man said something that I had never heard before. All right, he's an entrepreneur and also he's a pastor. He said that, that like you said already, that God created us not to be in want or in need, but to be abundant and create and have and not be in lack. He said when God put Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, that the Garden of Eden had everything that Adam needed to survive. He instructed them. He said, listen, out of all these trees around you, of their fruit you can eat. But you see that tree there? Stay away from that one. Out of all the trees, remember, all of the trees, he didn't make an exception, all of the trees, you can eat from them and be satisfied. But that one, he said, don't touch that. And what that one represented was lack. Guess what? The snake came and pointed that one tree and said, hey, God doesn't want you to go over there, because he doesn't want you to have that thing. You should go over there and take from that tree. And of course, Eve, went, hey, let's touch that. He said that was the first instance of someone pointing us to lack instead of abundance, right? So when he said that, I was like, oh my God, that is, it just opened up my eyes, to everything that I already know. And Zach touched on something earlier too, where he said that, you've heard those cliches like money is not everything. But I heard someone say years ago, a long time ago, that money may not be everything, but it is food, clothing, and shelter, right? So, and then this year when my wife and I took a trip to West Africa, going back to Nigeria, where I was born. And this church that we went to, it's called the Synagogue Church of All Nations, the most powerful place you could ever walk into. The Spirit of God is there. The prophet, the one thing that he said, and I know that, everybody that's watching this live stream right now and on Zoom may not have seen that service I'm talking about, but he said that this year, 2018, is the year of new beginnings. The year of new beginnings, no matter what happened last year or the year before, but this year is the year of beginning, a new promise. So what does that mean? Just take whatever you get from what you're hearing right now, right? We talked about the science of getting rich. I read the book too, but I love the audio version. That's what I got. I listened to that. So, but it's the same as, reading the physical book. Here's the thing. Take what you hear from this Zoom and Facebook Live and apply it to your own life, all right? Whatever is helpful to you that you're hearing from Keisha, Zach from Shahidville, and Sonia, take it and run with it. Back to you.
Man, that's so good. And I think I know who you're talking about. Okay. Sonia and I, that's one of our business coaches or whatever. And he be dropping it, y'all. Okay. You better not go over in his quarters talking about. And here's an exercise I want to do with y'all. And this is something that he taught us as well. So, in the comments are blowing up. Vandalin said it's now time for offering and a selection by the choir. Right. You all, we're talking about tonight, your right to be rich. So if you just now jumped on, that's what we're talking about tonight. This is the Laptop Lifestyle Freedom Tribe. We are a part of a digital franchise, and we're here to show you a way to create any amount of wealth that you would like to create. And so here's what you want to do. Definitely get back with the person that invited you here tonight, because I personally believe that, you know, there are some bigger things that we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to be a part of what we're doing. And yes, we're flipping the script on stuff that we're doing, and you don't know where we're going, but I believe you have a right. You have a right to be rich. And so we want to instill in you that mindset. So be sure you guys hit the share button, share this out, because someone else could definitely be blessed by this, this on here tonight. So, I was going to say something. Okay. So exercise I want you all to do. Okay. So everybody, and I want you to comment. If you watch me in Zoom, I want you to comment. Okay. So if I asked you about your children, how healthy do you want your children to be? If you have children, I want you to think about how healthy do you want your children to be? Okay. And I'm going to watch for your comments and see what you all say. Someone say, I stalk K-Bass all the time. What's up? How healthy do you want your children to be? Okay. Completely healthy. Okay. I see very healthy. Larisse says very healthy. Come on, y'all. How healthy? If I asked you, how healthy do you want to be? I mean, how healthy do you want to be? I mean, even we're not talking about your children, let's talk about you. How healthy do you want to be? If I asked you, if I said, Sonia, how healthy do you want to be? What would you say to me?
I want to be healthy all around, from the top of my head all the way to the soles of my feet.
Right. Everybody's saying healthy, utmost health. You want the utmost health. Okay, so let's go to if I said, Zach, how smart do you want to be?
Hey, super smart.
How smart do you want your kids to be?
Yeah, listen. It's funny you say that, because my name means intelligent. Zach Key, my name. It means intelligent. So yes, super smart. Very intelligent.
Someone says super healthy without limits. Sophie said limitless. Very healthy. So I see the comments coming in on Facebook. All right. So Sean says he wants healthy, extremely healthy. Someone said, I also want to be healthy all around. Someone said most healthy. Lynn said 100% healthy. Okay. So everybody. Okay. So if I said, if you were playing a sport, okay, so if you guys are playing a sport, or your children playing a sport, how good would you want your child to be at that sport? Okay. Does any parent go to the track field and just say, oh, you know, I don't want my child to be that good. No, just whatever, right? Just, you know, just a little bit, just be a little good. Don't, you know, somebody said gold medalist, right? Okay. So so if I asked you how wealthy do you want to be? Why is it? Some people will say things like this. I just want enough to get by. I just want enough, you know, we say, oh, I just want enough to get by. I'm not going to ask God for a whole lot. That's how we go. You know, I ain't going to ask the Lord for a whole lot. I just want enough money to get by. You know, I'm not going to be greedy. Ain't that, I mean, just raise your hand. Like, if you've been there, oh, I don't want to be greedy. Have you heard people say this? I don't want to be greedy. You know, I just want enough to make sure we're taken care of. We all right. That's the mindset. But everything else in your life, you want it all. If I asked you how healthy you want to be, you say you want to be very healthy. If I asked you about how, smart, you want to be very smart. You want to max it out in every other area of life. But when it comes to money, then we want to diminish and we want to be like, oh, just a little bit. I don't want to really, and then because here's what the real thing is. And I believe it's in the Science of Getting Rich, probably about chapter 7, competition or something like that. I studied the book, okay? Because what we do is that we'll feel like our belief system will cause us to believe that if I'm very rich, then Zach has to suffer, right? So if I'm really rich, somebody else has to suffer if I'm rich. And that's the mentality we have. So we'll have images in our mind like, okay, if I'm really rich, then the guy that's standing on the corner that's got the sign, then I'm going to take away. That's the mindset we have. If I'm rich, I'm taking away abundance. So I'm taking a bigger slice of abundance than I actually should have. And that's not true. That's not the truth. The truth is, if you are abundant, so let's talk. So, because some people have a weird relationship with the word rich. And so let's say abundance. So even if you're an abundant life, which is what God wants for us, I came that you may have life and that more abundantly. He's always about more life. So if you're about lack, that's not him. Hello, somebody. Okay? If you're telling me to diminish and just accept lower, less, if you're saying, Keisha, your hair shouldn't be pretty. You should just get your hair done and just let it look okay. Like, you would never tell me that. Right. But people tell you about money. Oh, you shouldn't be greedy like that. You should just, don't tell people, don't say you want to get rich. That's just greedy. I'm coming up against that. Like I come to challenge you. And so, in the Signs of Getting Rich, here's what he said. The man who owns all he wants for the living of all the life he is capable of living is rich. The man who owns all he wants. And didn't God say, I'll give you the desires of your heart? And it's different than your needs, because he said, I'll supply all your needs. Needs and wants are two different words, right? Can I get a witness? I mean, I've been to English school, and in needs and wants is two different things. So he's not talking about the same thing. So your needs are different from your wants, okay? What you need, he will supply. He always gets you what you need when you need it. So he said, but the man who the man who owns all he wants for the living of all the life he is capable of living is rich. That's a good word. That's a word for you guys to write down. Write that down. Capable. See, the problem with it, this is the problem with it. It's not about getting rich for just the sake of getting rich. It is the problem is that you're not living your life to the capacity that you could. And so you diminish yourself down to just living some mediocre lifestyle. And that's not God. That's the problem with it, is that you're capable of doing more. He has entrusted you. He had put inside of you more to do. And you just want to do let me just get by. All right. And
he won't ever override our will. That's one of the things he gave us, is our will. And so if you're saying you don't want, he's not going to say, here, take it. He's going to say, okay, you don't want it. Well, Zach wants it. Here, Zach, you can have it. That's why you want it. Here you go. Keisha, here you go. You want it, because he will not ever override our will.
You got a will to get rich, man. Like you have to, you have to will to get rich. And just, and like, I think Zach, you said about it, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision. Like, and the cool thing about it, you all, is that when you make a decision to get rich, then I wrote this down yesterday when I was on the Super Affiliate Network, which is the digital franchise that we're all a part of. You guys, get back to the person that invited you here tonight. Get the link, get started. You deserve to be a part of the team. You deserve to be a part of the system, because here's a problem that many of you have. Okay. I'm going to identify another problem. Okay. I got solutions, but I got to identify the problems, because I got to make you aware of the problem. Okay. Is that when you have a desire to get rich, you have to have a way to collect the money, right? You have to so there has to be an exchange. You got to have something, to sell. Right? You got to have something, a way. Money comes through people. That's the way we get money these days, is it comes through people. God ain't dropping money out the sky. It ain't happening. Okay. Ain't no money. He ain't raining down, he rained down manna, back then. But listen, ain't no money dropping out the sky. So you must have, in this day and age, there has to be a way you can accept a credit card, an American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Stripe, PayPal. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a way to collect the money. So we found a way. I mean, a digital franchise, so you can literally be a franchise owner tonight, and you can test out our entire system for $1. Somebody put $1 in the comments, right? You can. So this might just be your way. I always tell people, listen, I'm not saying to you that my way is the only way. I just have figured out a way, and you can definitely ride on my blueprint. You can jump on our blueprint. We got a blueprint, right? We have a blueprint here. you could definitely, you know, attach yourself to our blueprint until you come clear about your next step, right? It's, you know, y'all get that makes sense, y'all? So listen, this is what I wrote down. I shared this in a group or whatever, y'all. Get back to the person that invites you. Hey, look above. If someone shared this on Facebook, then you need to look above and see. It probably says this was shared by such and such in a Facebook group or something like that. Get back to them and let them know that you want to be a part of this, because it's going down over here, y'all. It's some millionaires coming out of this tribe. I'm telling you, okay. I am so serious about it. There are millionaires going to be made out of this tribe. Okay. So I wrote this down, y'all, and I got to share this with y'all. There comes a point in your business when you can't stop the money. Now I wrote this on, what is this? CenturyLink. CenturyLink sent me something. And so I wrote it down. There comes a point in your business when you can't stop the money. You guys, how would it feel? Can you imagine? Zach, can you imagine what's going to happen in your business? Can you imagine when you can't stop the money? Like, can you guys imagine what that is going to feel like? Can you all imagine what it's going to be like when you don't have to get up to an alarm clock? Can you imagine what it's like when you can make a decision that you want to take your family on a vacation, you know, on a trip, let's say a trip or something like that. You want to take your family on a trip, and then you just say, listen, guys, where are we going? You know, where are we going? And then you just write the check. You know, can you imagine driving whatever car you want to drive? Like what? Like I posted it in the team group and said, "What's your dream car? What's your dream car? Do you have a dream car?" Because some of us don't even have a dream car because we've just said, "Oh, that's not possible for me." Right? It's not possible for me. Some of us don't even have dream houses, dream cars, dream weight, dream nothing, dream trips, nothing. Because we just said, forget it, right? It's like, well, forget it. It's not, you know, it's not for me for whatever reason. We say that, right? But we want to help you guys start dreaming again. You know, start to dream again and get in your rightful place. Rightful.
Hey, think about this, Keisha. You said something. Can you imagine, right? So I want everybody on this broadcast to understand something. Every successful person, every rich person you see out there, it all started with a thought in their mind first. They thought about it, okay? They thought about it, guys, and they put enough emotion behind it, and they forced their will upon it until it happened, okay? And guess what? It didn't happen overnight, but guess what, guys? Once they thought about it, they took the necessary action steps in order for it to happen for them. So everything starts with a thought. And if you guys really go back in your mind, anything that you were really passionate about, anything that you ever really wanted, I don't care, even if it's your job, guys. I remember where there was a job I wanted so bad, and all I kept saying is, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna get this job. And guys, I remember sitting down at a job I hated, and the job called me, said, you got the job. But I thought about it first. I imposed my will upon it. Guys, we do that all the time. We are creative. Like God has given us that creative side to where we think about stuff hard enough. And we put enough emotion behind it and then put the action behind it. It's going to happen. So we just got to ask ourselves, like, is the reason why we're not rich right now is because we haven't put enough emotion behind it. We haven't put enough action behind it because we have thought about it. But at some point, somehow you lost your dream. You lost your childlike vision because somebody tried to impose their limiting beliefs on your mindset. And that's the only reason why we say things like money is not everything, or I'm just going to be comfortable, or I'm okay here, because somebody imposed their limiting beliefs on you because they felt like they couldn't do it. So now they put that on you like you can't do it. Okay? It's just like Shinchua said, what the story about the Bible and the snake, the tree, right? Okay, the devil felt like, oh, I'm no longer in God's grace anymore. So I'm going to impose my limiting beliefs on Adam and Eve so they will fall out of grace.
Wow.
Hey, KB. Just to piggyback on what Zach said about everything beginning in thought. The book, The Science of Getting Rich, there's a direct quote where it says, by thought, everything you want is brought to you by action, you receive it, right? Because it all starts in how you think and what you're saying to yourself and what you truly believe. But everything that has been built, like Zach said, all the mansions, all the towers, all the skyscrapers, all the amazing bridges like Brooklyn Bridge, they all started from a single thought by one person or maybe a group of people, right? But through their action, it came to be. And in the same book, it says that the universe, I quote, the universe desires you to have everything you want to have in life. You just have to believe it is true, end quote.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. You know, the one of the confessions that I have, it's like a daily self-confidence formula. And one of the lines that it says is that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves into outward physical actions and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. I'll say it again, the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually, okay, so think about it, y'all. Things that you think about, so you think about it and you think about it and you think about it. The dominating thoughts of your mind will eventually reproduce. Y'all know what reproduction is. It's going to reproduce into outward physical action, right? So the thought, action, reality. So the dominating thoughts of my mind, I'm rich, I feel rich, I am rich, I deserve to be rich, you know. The dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves into outward physical action. So then I start to act rich. Even before I have money, y'all, I didn't say nothing. Even before, we're talking about thoughts and actions. And so now I do things that rich people do. Now, I'm not saying you go blow money, right? You know what I'm saying? And you go and just buy stuff and, you know, and flake out your bank account to a point where you can't pay, because that's not wisdom. And so you have to pray for wisdom as well. But you'll do things that you'll have the presence. You'll start to attract things, opportunity. Like that's how I attract opportunities into my life. It's because I'm rich. Like, so it can't help but come to me because that's who I am. I'm not doing stuff to prove to myself I am rich. I already am rich. It's like, that's, you know, so the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action. So when you have made a decision that you are rich, your calendar and your calendar and your schedule and your actions, it'll show up. It'll show up on your calendar. Okay. And what you do, your actions, and that's where it'll show up. So the dominating thoughts will reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. So that's the process that happens. The dominating thoughts. If you keep saying I'm fat, dominating thoughts. So you're gonna eat. Listen to this, guys. If your dominating thought is I'm overweight, I'm fat, I can't lose weight. You know, we don't have to talk about money. We can talk about just natural, you know, I'm fat, whatever. And that's all you see. When you look in the mirror, you see a fat person, you know, and that's your dominating thoughts. Guess what? Your actions are going to line up with it. So you're going to be eating potato chips. You're going to be drinking sodas. You're going to be doing all this stuff to match the dominating thought. And then fat shall be your reality. Because there are people, you guys know there are people that are like skinny, like they're like sticks, and you know, they're like sticks, but their dominating thoughts say they're fat. And so when they look in the mirror, the physical reality that they see in the mirror is a fat person, and they are like skin and bones. So so you can't argue with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, KB.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the exercise you did a few minutes ago. And most people will, you know, may not see the gravity of that exercise where you ask, you know, how smart do you want to be, or how healthy do you want to be, or how healthy do you want your kids to be, how good do you want your kids to be in sports? And 99.999% of people you ask that question, everybody I'm sure that gave a feedback said, amazing, 110%. Very healthy, super healthy. But I find it ironic that there is a disconnect when it comes to riches and money.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we lose that connection? Where does that break come from? Where on one hand, we want to be as healthy as, we don't want to be sick at any time. We want our kids to be the best in school, be the best at sports, whatever. But when it comes to being rich or having money, we're like, you know what? I just want enough. Mm-hmm. What is enough? Or I just want a little bit to do X, Y, Z. Now, is it because we don't equate all these other areas of excellence and the excellence in being able to do all those things? Mm-hmm. I just thought it was fascinating, that there's a disconnect there.
Very big so. When it start teaching though, what do you think, Sonia?
Sorry, I was muted. Oh, absolutely. Again, the title for tonight is that you have a right to be rich. If you do not know what your rights are, right, then you're going to take everything else everyone else spoke over your life. But you have to also be careful what people speak over your life. You have to know your rights. If I didn't know that I had the right to vote, then I wouldn't go to the polls and vote because I didn't know, right? My pastor does something that he always says, that if you know, he would say that you have the right. So if somebody wrote you $1 million check, right, and you never cash that check, you just don't know. You're not believing that whatever it says, the $1 million on that check is actually yours, right? Because you do not know that you have the right for you to go cash it. If your bank account has $1 million, you do not know that you have the right for you to go swipe that card, or for you to write that check, or for you to go do those things. You have to know your right. So we have a right to be rich. One of the things, Keisha, you were talking about thoughts. Well, first of all, we have a thought. And then after we have the thought, then we start speaking it. And one of the things our First Lady teaches us is that you have to be careful what you speak. When it comes into your mind, you speak it. Sometimes you might have that thought, but you have to make sure for you to immediately have the willpower for you to change that thought. Because if you do not change that thought, you're going to start speaking it. And so your life is the sum of the total of the words that you've been speaking. So when you look at your life, it's the things that you have spoken, that you've believed, right? And that's how you operate, or the things that have been spoken over your life. You have to know your right. And you have to know that God created you so beautifully, so uniquely and wonderfully made for you to have a great life. That's why I speak about living intentional, right? You have to have, how are you going to impact the world if you don't have money? How are you going to impact someone in another state that you cannot even fly over there to that state? How are you going to impact people that if God says that I want you to be a speaker, how are you going to be able to manifest those things in your life? So again, it's a dollar decision for you to manifest. It's a dollar decision for you to be able to start that manifestation process. Why are people so afraid of money? Why are people so afraid of money? It is yours to have, right? But first, again, like all of us have said tonight, you have to change that thinking and you have to know your rights. Your right is for you to live the very best life possible. And Zach said it in the beginning, right? The time, right? Your time is valuable. And here you are. I pray that you do not waste time in 2018. I pray that we do not have to come on here on these this live broadcast and telling you, hey, get back with the person. The reason why they shared the link with you, the reason why they emailed you, the reason why you came online is for a reason. You have a right for you to have the very best. And this year is the year of manifestation, not new beginnings. It's manifestation. Let it manifest this year in your life. So then you can go and you can impact others as we're doing our best to come and inspire you and to impact your life. Then you can take that exact same thing and you can go, and then it just goes on and on and on, because people need you. People need us. We need each other. And again, you have a right to be rich. Say it or type it down there. Rich, 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 rich.
Hey, Sonia, great points, right? Great points. And when you were speaking, something came up in my mind that I got to share this, right? So type in rich, like you said, but also type in preparation. Okay, because guys, we get prepared all of our lives for some of the things we want, right? Some of the desires we have, we are prepared for some of this stuff, right? So like some of you have been on this broadcast for almost an hour. You've been listening to us. I see all the comments going on. You're motivated. You know you have the right to be rich. You know you need to make some changes in 2018, and you can absolutely do it. God prepared you to have ears to listen for this message, because trust me, there are people who scroll past this broadcast who needed to hear this message, but because they don't have ears to listen right now, they missed it. But you were prepared to be on this broadcast, right? Sonia talked about earlier how on her job, they had her training her replacements, right? And she got upset initially. But guess what? God prepared her to be a great trainer, to learn from this company, so one day she could own her own company, her own multi-million-dollar company. God has prepared her for that, right? God has prepared you guys for your abundance all of your lives, guys. Think about it. Even if I relate it to my sons, right? Okay. I've been prepared to be a good father, right? Because all of my life, my mom's had a daycare in my house. I've seen all my cousins grow up in my house, right? When I got to college, right, everybody wanted me to be a goddaddy. Okay. So I have 2 goddaughters, I have a godson, but it was because God was preparing me for what I have now. That's why I pray over my sons now and say, what a blessing that God has prepared me for and has trusted me with, right? So God prepares you for stuff, but he also wants to know, can he trust you with it? Okay, because some of us are not rich right now. Some of us don't have the abundance that we want right now because you just can't, you're not trustworthy yet, right? You got to become trustworthy with the things that he's been preparing you for all your life. And once he knows, guys, your preparation's intact, once he knows you're trustworthy, guess what, guys? Things will start to open up. You will see start to manifest in your life like, wow, where is this coming from? Money's just falling into my lap. People are joining my team out of nowhere. How is this happening? It is because you have been prepared and you have made yourself trustworthy to get the abundance that he wants you to have. But you have to understand he wants you to have it. And that's why when Keisha Bass said, our team will create the most millionaires in this system, it is because, guys, our team has been prepared for it. Our team has been trustworthy over it, and we are going to produce millionaires in this system. So if you're somebody looking for a family, something to join, guys, where you can come and have your dreams manifest, here it is. You're not on this broadcast just because.
Oh, Zach just touched on something. As he was speaking, I speaking of being prepared, years ago, and one of the things I had done in my past, which, goes to speak that whether what you've done in the past, whether you succeeded or failed miserably or you struggled, but you learned something, you came out of that experience learning something moving forward. And I learned something from a great mentor. He passed on a while back, and he had a group of principles that he called principles of success. And I'm going to share the number one with you. The number one was what Zach just talked about. It's be prepared for success. Be prepared for success. And what that simply means is, like Zach pointed out, that you got to be ready. You got to be ready when that we desire, when it comes about. You have to be ready. You have to be ready to be that person that you've heard it, that is deserving of what you're seeking, of what you're asking for, of what you've been working for. All right, because if you're not prepared for it, you wouldn't know how to handle it. So be prepared for it, because by being here tonight, by watching this tonight, by, like Zach said, if you were scrolling by and you said, oh God, let me see what this is about, and you stuck with it up to this point, success is already happening for you right now. Even if you don't take any kind of action from what you've heard right this minute, come tomorrow, you might do something with it, right? But you have picked up something, and this is part of your preparation. So be prepared for success, because you have it right now. Back to you.
Awesome. Man, thanks you all. Did you guys get value out of this? Drop a comment, drop an emoji, or if you got value here tonight, if this was valuable for you all that are in part of the Laptop Lifestyle Freedom Tribe, we definitely appreciate every single one of you being here, for commenting, for sharing and stuff, and joining us in on this conversation about your right to be rich. Okay. There was one thing in the book, and we encourage you, and we'll probably drop the link to the book inside of the Freedom Tribe. So when you get started tonight, you'll have the book in there when they add you to the group and stuff like that. And also there's another book that I got access to that talks about faith and money, and it was like fire. I mean, like I'm telling you, I was reading a book and I wanted to lap around my house and stuff. Like, it was just like one of those books that I definitely want to share with the tribe on tonight. But one of the things he said, and this is what I want you all to take with you here tonight, because if you're going to get rich, you're going to have to shift your mind. Your mindset has to shift, and we all have to do it. So it's not any of us are picking on you. We're not pointing at you or anything like that. We all have to go through a transformation, and I think the scripture says something like, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay. And so that's really that's just, what we all have to do, whether you believe the Bible, God, universe, whatever your stuff, whatever, right? I'm not here to convince you of nothing. Okay. But I am here. I know that God's desire for his people is more life. Okay, so there's nothing wrong. I'm gonna read this, and you guys get the book. You want to definitely, this month, if you haven't read it, this is the month to do it. Okay, definitely, this is the month to do it. There's nothing wrong in wanting to get rich, and some of us have to say that to ourselves because we have so much programming, and we've been so. I know me. I can only speak for me, that I was just so programmed. I didn't even want to say it. Like, I was like, I just wouldn't even say it. Like, I just, we just avoid the conversation. We don't even want to say it. And so some of you all, it's going to be freedom, and you just go to the mirror, look in the mirror, and just say, God, I want to be rich. Like seriously, thou shalt get rich. Okay, so that's that's the Bible of Keisha. That's not in you won't find that specifically, but that's like commandment number 12. Like, that's commandment number 12 in the Bible of Keisha. Okay, that thou shalt get rich. So there's nothing wrong in wanting to get rich. The desire for riches is really the desire for a richer, fuller, and more abundant life. Okay, so that's really the desire. It's for a fuller, richer, and more abundant life. And that desire is praiseworthy. That's praiseworthy. I mean, like, who wants to praise you for you saying, well, I just want to be poor? Why do we want to praise you for that? I'm saying, like, you guys think about stuff. Like when you start to think about stuff, you be like, that's just dumb. I mean, like, that's just dumb. Like, that's just dumb. And, I'm not calling y'all dumb, but some of the thoughts that we have, I've had them, all of us, that's just dumb. That doesn't even make sense. Like, why would we praise you for that? Like, did you praise your kid if they came home and said, you know what, I got all F's. That's all I can do. Hey, I did all I could. Man, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would be like, oh, okay. It's like the slow clap, right? You're like, so we're going to have to get you a tutor. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then what you need to get a tutor, you need what? Money. Okay. So if you want to fix your kids' grades, you need money. All right. So the man who does not, now this is what I want you guys to take away. Okay. And we're done. Cause y'all know, I just love this stuff. I could just talk about it, but I have to cook Blue Apron. Right. So like, yeah. I have to cook Blue Apron. Y'all know it's time. It's Blue Apron time, and I got to get off. And so there's like a few steps for Blue Apron. I think it's only like a 35-minute meal, though, 40 minutes. So it'll take me an hour and a half, I'm sure, right? So it'll take me an hour and a half, but it's all good, okay? I'm all good, But listen, the man or woman, because this was wrote, back in the day and stuff, so they always address men. Even the Bible talks about the man, but ladies, this is for you too, girlfriend. The man or woman who does not desire to live more abundantly is abnormal. Hello, somebody. The man or woman who does not desire to live more abundantly is abnormal. Because the Bible says he'll give you the desires of your heart. So that means you have to have some desires. So if you don't have desires, see, I can take you to the scriptures and everything. Y'all, I got you. For those y'all good church going people, y'all being like, I don't know. No, the man or woman who does not desire to live up more abundantly is abnormal. Okay. Because God puts desires inside of you. So you should have a desire to have more life. That is the normal person. A normal human being has a desire to have more life. So the man who does not desire to have money enough to buy all he wants, okay, is abnormal. Oh my God.
In other words, he's saying you're weird, so don't be weird.
Don't be weird. You're just weird, okay? And I'm virtually hugging some of you all because when I heard that, I was like, oh, what? Like, ew. I'm actually giving you guys a virtual hug. So some of you all are probably a little bit, you may be a little, you don't know how to really, some of y'all, if you're brand new to me, you probably like, what? Like, who is she think she is to be telling me? No, sweetie, you're abnormal. Okay. And so we just come to help you. Like, we just come to help you. Like, that's all we come to do. We come to help you so you can be normal. Don't be weird. You should desire more. Put that in the comments, guys. I desire more. Like, I desire more. I'm okay with that. It's okay. It's totally okay for you to desire more. And so I want you all to know that if you have a desire for more, then God has provided a way for you to have more, because it actually would be a really evil God to put desire in you to have more life and not also provide the way for you to have more life. Like, that's evil, you guys. That's like an evil father. Like, if I told my son, like, well, he does have a car outside that he can't drive, but but it's like, you have abundance of stuff. Like, that's like you having this big dinner and you got this abundance of everything. And then you tell your kids, like, you can only have this corner, like just right there. That's it. That's all you can have. And then you and your wife, you guys just eating up. You know what I'm saying? You eating and stuff, and you just got dessert and everything. You tell your kids, well, you can only have right there. Okay? I own everything. God is an abundant God. And if you're in lack, I challenge you if you're in God. God is an abundant God. Okay. I'm going to say that slow because I'm here to just piss you off again. God is an abundant God. And if you are in lack, how can you be in God? Question. So if I were you, I'd be asking him, Lord, show me the way. Okay. Somebody said they were down on their knees with their hands up. Sometimes it's like, Lord, I surrender. That thought wasn't from you. Show me the way. Show me. If it's your desire, show me the way. Show me how to get rich. Show me how to do it. Show me how to live an abundant life. Show it to me. Okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all.
Hey, KB, before we run out, That's what you said, right? That God does not desire us to be in lack. So if we go against that desire, if we go against that will, that means that we're going against God. And I don't think there's anybody on this platform right now that's willing to make or take that chance by going against God.
I ain't with it. Everything I say, Lord, everything you have, or God, whatever, everything that you have for me, I want it. Like, what I'm saying? Like, everything that you have for me, I want it. I want all the gifts you have, everything. I want to live in the abundant life that you, I mean, I know you didn't, abundant life is not just here for Zach and it's not for Keisha. Like, that's crazy. Like, there's abundant life for, like, you look at some of the stars and stuff like that. Like, them people, so what's, like, why? Abundance is for all. Some people just claim it and some people just say it's not for me. And then, like Sonia said, God won't go against your will. So if you don't want it, then he just say, okay, well then whatever, right? He just, he doesn't want to, because I'm pretty sure he wants you to have that, but he can't go against your will. Can't. So if you say I'm poor and spiritual, then you're poor and spiritual. There you go. That's your life. And so you're spiritually poor and poor. So, I mean, and your church needs stuff and you can't even write a check. And that's God. Okay. Amen. The building fund, I'm gone. the 25-year building funds. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what happened to the money. Like, we still don't have a new building. How is it we got a building for 50 years and we still don't have a new building? Like, what is going on here? You guys know I'm telling the truth. You guys know I'm telling the truth. You know you've been in churches and you guys have a building fund for 100 years. Like, that building fund has been around since my grandmother. My grandmother gave into the building fund and we still don't have a building. And this is not acceptable anymore. So I'm just going to say it. It's not acceptable anymore. Okay, amen. All right, y'all. Okay. Any final words? Y'all, I'm crazy, but trust me, I hear God very clearly.
Go do your Blue Apron.
I'm going to do my Blue Apron, and you guys get the sign to get enriched. It's inside the if you want to make a donation. If you want to give an offering tonight, listen, here's what you want to do. Get back to the person that invited you here. I mean, you can get started or you can give an offering to them. Just ask them for their PayPal and tell them, you know what, that really blessed me tonight. And I want to be a blessing to you. I'm that crazy. Like, seriously, I'm that crazy. Like, listen, if you don't want to get started in a life-changing business opportunity, we understand, you know what I'm saying? But maybe you just want to be a blessing to them for hitting that share button and inviting you, because that was some work that they did to get you here. But you could definitely, be a blessing to them tonight and stuff. And, and either way it goes, if you're alive, you're blessed. So we're not here to tell you, you give money, you bless and all that kind of stuff. You bless anyways. All right. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Maybe we'll be regular next week, Zach. I don't know. Oh, no. Next week's my birthday. Oh, no. I won't be here. Next week's my birthday. And so, no, I won't see y'all.
Next week. Yeah, me and Krishana already said we're gonna hold it down. Next week is gonna be holding it down for you. So don't worry about that. You're gonna enjoy your birthday. Yes. I'm sure Leonard has some good stuff about to happen.
We're gonna spend money. That's for sure.
Hey, but look, I like this format tonight, though. I think a lot of people like this format. I mean, we didn't jump too deep into the business side tonight, but like you said, there is a business opportunity that we are promoting, the Laptop Lifestyle. So if anybody wants to know about it, make sure you get back with the person who invited you guys so you can get around the energy of this tribe on a regular basis, guys. And we just love each other, right? We're a family. We're having fun, making money. And, we're going to travel the world together, guys, and going to build a lot of memories. So we would love to have you guys with us. So get back with the person who invited you.
Yep. Awesome. We'll see y'all we'll see it inside, and we'll put the books and everything inside the tribe. So you guys have access to it. We challenge y'all to read the books. Okay. This month we challenge y'all to read the books. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
Good night. Take care, guys.